Hello, I'm Praveen Hiremat.
And I'm Mark Nelson. Welcome to this demonstration of Oracle Data Refactoring Advisor. This is a work in progress demo of this new tool, which is currently under development. This demo does not show the first part of the workflow, which would be capturing your application's workload and calculating affinity between tables. Instead, we're using some data that we prepared earlier, and we just show the community detection and analysis.
Let's start by creating an autonomous transaction processing database. We will use this database to store the data and perform the community detection. We can use database actions to create a new user. We will call this user DRA for Data Refactoring Advisor. This user will need to have access to Graph Studio and also web access so that they can load data, run queries, and so on.
Let's log on with this new user. Let's load the data that we prepared earlier. We will load the data from two CSV files. One has a list of all of the tables in this medical records application, and the other has data about the affinity between those tables based on how often they are used together in queries and how they are used. If we take a look in SQL Worksheet, we can see our two new tables here. And let's check we have the expected number of records. The table map has 615, which is correct, and the table set tables should have 211, which it does. Now we want to add primary and foreign keys to relate these tables to each other.
Now let's start up Graph Studio and log in with our same DRA user. We will start by creating a model from the data that we just loaded. Here are our two tables. When we click on Next, Graph Studio will automatically determine which is vertex table and which is the edge table based on the primary and foreign key constraint we added. We also want to switch the source and destination here. So we are looking at the affinity from table 1 to table 2. And now let's create the model and also create a graph from the model. We will give those both a meaningful name, medical records. Nothing special about the names. We just using a suffix so that we can tell them apart easily. And now we will load the graph into memory.
Great, that's done. Now let's import our notebook, which has the logic to perform the community detection and to display visualizations of the graphs. This paragraph lets us look at some of the raw data. The second paragraph has the code to perform community detection using the built-in Louvain algorithm, and then print out details of the communities or clusters that we found. We are using the affinity between tables as the edge weight that we feed into the community detection algorithm. So you can see here that we have a few communities with groups of tables, and there are also a bunch of individual tables that do not form part of a community.
Now, let's have a look at one of these communities. This one here, number 164, is shown in this graph visualization. Let's label the vertices, which represents the tables, and the edges, which are the affinities. We can also color code the vertices, the tables, that are members of the community. This graph shows us the tables in the community as well as a number of other related peripheral tables. See the 5 red ones in the center here. These make up this community or cluster. Now we know from our domain knowledge that there is a table that does not belong in this community. So we are going to update the affinity to override the value we calculated based on the usage in SQL statements. We are setting these to 0 to tell the community detection algorithm that these tables do not belong together. Now we need to reload the graph to pick up the new data. We can run the community detection algorithm again. And now we see that the tables has been moved to different cluster where it belongs in cluster 106.
This demonstrates how we can apply domain knowledge to give the community detection algorithm hints about which tables do or do not belong in the same community. We can reload the graphs to see the updated results, and you can see that this community, 106, which previously had 2 tables in it, now has 3. And this community, 164, which had 5, now only has 4. That concludes our brief demonstration of the Data Refactoring Advisor. Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like to talk or learn more, maybe share some of your own workload data or try our prototype, come talk to us on Slack. You can get an invitation using the link on the screen, and our channel name is Oracle DB Microservices. We look forward to hearing from you.